Okay, I think I'm live. Happy full moon in May, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am jumping on to do some Goddess Oracle card readings. This is something that we do monthly over in my group on Facebook. And I thought the full moon was just such a beautiful time to bring that over to YouTube and give an opportunity for some of our YouTube community to join in. It's always a pleasure and a joy for me to channel these messages. So I'm excited to do that tonight. So if you're here live, do let me know. Say hello. I'd love to hear from you. And if you would like a card pulled for yourself, just let me know in the comments. And I also usually start with a collective card. And maybe I should take a minute before I get started to actually introduce myself. Hi, Cassie. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here live. My name, if you are new to me, new to this live, new to this channel, my name is Liz. I'm an intuitive coach and healer, and I love working with spiritual women on helping themselves heal, step into their power and unique gifts, and manifest lives that they love. I also love working with goddess energy for healing and empowerment. And hi, Gina. Good to see you. I will pull a card for you very shortly. Absolutely. Um, and so, Something that I love doing is hosting goddess circles. I also do goddess oracle card readings. And as I mentioned in my group, we do these individual goddess messages to kind of give you some guidance for the month. And I wanted to do this on the full moon because the moon is such a beautiful symbol of the goddess. And especially the full moon is, the goddess in her fullness, the goddess in her mother energy, shining bright. So I think it's a beautiful time to do that. So let us begin first with just a general collective message for anybody who's here, anybody who watches this on the replay, and then we'll go into some individual messages as well. Okay. So our general message is the goddess Kuan Yin, and I love Kuan Yin's energy. It is so soft and unconditionally loving. So the card itself says compassion. Release judgment about yourselves and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. And I'm really kind of getting a very strong call to work on self love energy in this coming moon cycle. It feels like there's something about tending to the heart chakra, making sure that you are speaking to yourself, thinking of yourself with love, kindness, and compassion. And doing that work is going to help you just radiate this beautiful, loving, compassionate energy out into your life, which will then positively impact those around you and also result in you receiving more love, receiving more compassion. So every time we can speak, move, think from a place of love and compassion rather than like fear or judgment or feeling like triggered or defensive or wounded, the more we can move from that energy, the more we sort of spread that energy out into our world. And then our world, our reality matches that. So it feels like Kuan Yin is kind of coming in here to bring this beautiful, loving, calming energy to your world. So call on her if you feel like you need that kind of support, if you need help being in a loving place, whether that's to yourself or others. And just recognize that that self-love work that you're doing or that you choose to do during this moon cycle will have ripple effects out into your life. Okay, beautiful. I love it. Good start. Okay, now let's go into some individual card pulls. So I'm going to I see Cassie here first, and then Gina, I'll pull your card. So first, let's start with Cassie. Okay, Cassie, your card is Yamanya, Golden Opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. Okay, so first message, I mean, I think that's a beautiful message straight on the card, Cassie. It feels like you might be going into a time where there are opportunities that present themselves to you. Um, and I'm feeling like this may be opportunities in your physical reality, opportunities to do a certain kind of work, or opportunities for new friendship, or opportunities for love, or deeper connection, or that kind of thing. But even more than that, I feel like there's going to be some opportunities for a new perspective on things, on something in your life, that really helps you start to move in a new direction. Also, opportunities to sort of shift your mindset, to be in more alignment with what you want to create. Opportunities. To just approach things differently. There's something about, like, the energy I'm getting and what I'm feeling from this is, like, whatever you want the opportunity to be in your outside world, the opportunity first starts within you, within your own mind, within your own heart, with your own perspective. So May is going to first bring the opportunities for the internal shifts, so you can see the external shifts in the outside world begin to unfold from here. I'm also excuse me, Cassie. I'm also being really drawn to Yamanya's pose in this picture. She's like, her chest is open, her heart is open, her hands are behind her head, right? She's in like a position of like surrender and trust. And also, it's like a bold position, right? So she's topless, she's putting it out there. She doesn't feel, she's not scared of being vulnerable, of being naked. And so I feel like there's something here, Cassie, about you stepping into that energy for yourself, and that also being part of what creates opportunity for you. That's going to come in. So you like really being bold, really like keeping your heart open to opportunities, miracles, putting yourself out there in the world, and then being trust and surrender that it is going to all unfold for you. The toplessness is optional, but if you want to go for that, that's also good too. I support it. So, Cassie, I hope that resonates and that makes sense. Okay, beautiful card. I love that message. Okay, Gina, let's get to your card. And Leslie, I see you. Hi, good to see you. Okay, let's get a card from the goddesses for Gina. Mhm. Gina, your goddess is Ixchel, and the card says medicine woman, and you are a channel for divine healing power. Okay. Um, and so I feel like there's a couple energies here for you to pay attention to, Gina. You are already a healer. I mean, I know that because I know in your work life you do healing work, but also just like naturally, like that is part of your soul essence. And so this card to me feels like a just a confirmation of that, a call for you to continue to move forward deeper and deeper into your healing gifts. And this almost feels like beginning to conceptualize yourself not only as a traditional, like a healer in a traditional sort of job career format, that kind of thing, but starting to embrace these other sides of you that are like healing through energy, healing through like sort of having a shaman like presence, healing through a spiritual journey, all the herbs, like all different kinds of things like that. So it feels like Ixchel is guiding you on incorporating more like alternative holistic practices potentially, but and also just integrating those sides of yourself into yourself and into your healing work moving forward. Um, This also maybe, Gina, if you've been considering stepping into any work as an energy healer specifically, or even if it's not like working as an energy healer, pursuing any kind of energy attunement for yourself, I feel like there's good energy around that from you. So just if you feel called, if you've been feeling that nudge, listen to that. I feel like Ixchel is coming through with kind of wanting to guide you in that pathway. Okay, Gina, I hope that makes sense and that resonates. Let me know. Okay, Leslie. Oh, I'm so glad you caught me live too. We missed you yesterday, Leslie. So do you want a card, Leslie? Let me know. Yep, as he says, sure. Okay, let's pull a card from the goddesses for Leslie. Oh, Leslie, Excel came back up right for you, and I shuffled. I don't know if you guys could see me off camera, but I was shuffling. Let me tune into this for a second. Okay, for you, Leslie, there is a bit of a similar message as the message that just came through for Gina, where you are tapping into sort of this innate soul essence of being a healer. Now, I don't know, Leslie, if this is something you practice in any kind of professional capacity, but it feels to me that that's kind of like besides the point. Um, I feel like for you, this is about just recognizing how your energy as you move through the world is healing and powerful for those around you, your friends, your family, your community. Really, like it feels like anybody you encounter that like there's something interestingly what I'm being like shown and seeing is there's something from your heart to other people's hearts that's very powerful. Like you move from that place all the time and like you just put that heart energy out into the world and that is very healing and powerful. So own that for yourself, recognize that for yourself. Never feel like you need to hold yourself back from sharing who you really are. um and so like this just feels like a really beautiful confirmation of like your path as someone who um just elevates people by your energy. Certainly if you already are looking into moving into doing that in a little bit more specific professional way, or even if it's not professional, but like you're looking into a healing energy modality or some other modality to work with people more directly, this is a beautiful sign that that's a good direction for you to go into as well, Leslie. Okay, that's the message. I love it. Okay, let me just check in the comments. Gina says, it's the second time the same message from different goddesses have come through me. Well, that happens sometimes. She says, I've had a past life kind of feeling of shaman, although not sure from here yet. Yes, trust that past life feeling. There's a reason that that comes up. And I could be imagining thing. I don't think I am, though. I think I'm remembering correctly, Gina, that you were exploring some nutritional things to add to your work and that kind of thing. So I feel like that's probably that past life as a shaman who worked with herbs, who worked with, you know, um, plants that you find in nature, etc., coming through and wanting to be recovered by you, remembered by you. Um, yeah, definitely. So you are so welcome. I hope that it resonates, and I hope that that gives you like momentum forward to whatever you want to do. And Leslie says, interesting. Yes, yes, it resonates deeply. You wouldn't believe it. What is the goddess's name? Oh, the goddess is named Ixchel. I still have it here. And it's spelled Ixchel. I'm fairly certain she is an Aztec goddess. It could be a Mayan goddess. Right now, that is escaping me, but it's either Aztec or Mayan goddess. Okay. Beautiful, guys. You are welcome, Leslie. You're welcome, Gina. Okay, now I do have some names I'm going to go through. So in my group, when we do these, I do let people ask for a card to watch on replay. So I have a list of people I'm going to pull cards for. Now, if you are not getting a card pulled directly for yourself, but you hear a message that resonates through someone else's card, I do want to encourage you guys to take that. Like, we are creating a collective energy when we're here live and when we're watching on replay. And sometimes, what you need to hear may come through someone else's card. Okay, so let's go to Rachel. Rachel R. Okay, Rachel, we have a Aracura. Rachel, I almost feel like we got this card for you last month. I could be mistaken, but similar feeling is coming up. Aracura says blossoming. You are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process and do not give up. Okay. So I feel like this is just that guidance to keep going on whatever you're working on. Know that it is having some impact, result, forward movement, whatever that is, even if you can't see that full blossoming yet, like things are under it are in the works underneath the surface. And so trust that that's occurring, that you've been planting seeds. You may even have started to see a little bit sprouts of the seeds of whatever you're working on beginning. And so don't give up. Don't give up until the flower is fully bloomed, right? That's what Aracura is demonstrating with the blossoming. So Rachel, keep going with whatever it is that you're wanting for yourself in your life. None of it is impossible. Everything that you desire, anything that is on your heart and truly resonates with your soul is meant for you. You just have to keep aligning toward it. Keep putting in the work to bring it to fruition. And when I say work, I never mean that this has to be a struggle or that this has to be hard. I just mean to keep your intentional focus on something and be devotional, be committed to helping yourself move toward it through healing, through intuitively guided action steps, through just your belief and trust, all of that kind of thing. That's the kind of work that I mean. So hopefully that resonates with you, Rachel, and that's helpful. So keep going. It's coming. Okay. Let me check in here. Beautiful. Now, if you are here live and you want a card, don't forget to put it in the chat and I will see it come up and I'll pull a card for you. As I'm waiting, I will pull my next card. We're going to do Terry Sue. Terry Sue, your goddess is Sulis, who is a river goddess. Bodies of water. Spend time near water, such as a lake, river, or the ocean, to recharge your batteries, Terry Sue. So I feel like the surface level of this message on this card definitely is very applicable. Being around moving water, especially, is very clearing. So if you've been in a time where you feel like you've been like stressed or your energy has gotten a little heavy or you've been surrounded by negativity or felt a little down or any of those kinds of things, be sure to do some energy clearing, and specifically with the goddess Sulis coming in for you, doing that with water and being around moving water or immersed in water is going to be very healing and clearing for you. So If you can go to one of these natural kinds of bodies of water, including waterfalls, like there are some parks around our area that have waterfalls or small ponds or that kind of thing, streams, that's very beautiful. But if you can't, do a beautiful goddess bath. Fill your bathtub up, get some Epsom salts, you know, soak in the bath and let the water cleanse you, or do a shower where you're imagining white light or doing a sea salt scrub and then rinsing it off. All of those things are clearing for your energy field. So it does feel, Terry Sue, like there is some guidance here to clear your energy field using the method of water. But I'm also with Sulis coming through, feeling an energy of being in flow, being in surrender, allowing yourself to float, those kinds of energies. So, you know, it kind of feels like sometimes we want to, you know, take control, make forward movement, take action, those kinds of things. And there is definitely times for that in our journey, especially if we're feeling intuitively guided to do so. But this almost feels like now is the time to like rest a little bit and float and allow yourself to be led to the next place where you take guided action. So it almost feels to me, Terry Sue, like you've been doing a bunch of stuff and now like reap the rewards of it where you give yourself some rest, kind of float a little bit, and then the next steps will present themselves. Kind of like, if you were paddling a boat, you'd put in some work, you'd get some momentum, and then like the wind might take over and you can just relax for a little while until that momentum slows down, and then you need to put in the work to row a little bit again, something like that. So Tracy, I hope that makes sense and hope that's helpful. Okay, let me take just a quick sip of water, guys. Let us go to Melissa. Melissa, let's get a card for Melissa. Melissa T. Okay. Melissa T, you also received Aracura blossoming. And the card says, once again, you are just getting started. So have patience with yourself and the process and do not give up. So Melissa, I'm kind of getting a feeling like there may have been recently a bit of a feeling of discouragement or disappointment or a little bit of a challenge that has come up, that kind of energy. And I feel like Aracura is coming in to say, it's okay. In the journey, we sometimes have times when we fall a little bit and then we get ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and we keep going. And that's all part of the process. And you learn from every time that happens. And sometimes it has to happen for us to learn from whatever that was. And then we move forward more strongly. It's like one step backward, but then two steps forward, or three steps forward, or 10 steps forward as a result of that. So I'm definitely getting that, like, do not give up, like, have patience with yourself, give yourself love and compassion if that has been the case, and keep going because the work you're doing on yourself is having good impact and good effect. Okay, Melissa? Okay, let me check in here. Now let us go along to Marilyn. Let's get a card from Marilyn. Marilyn, you have Isis coming through. One of my favorite goddesses. Ancient Egyptian goddess of magic, of everything, really. Children, women, intuition, a high priestess sort of energy. She's known as the Lady of 10,000 Names. Um, so with this past life energy coming in, Marilyn, so certainly this can relate to actual past lives. So if you're feeling like there's any situations coming up that feel particularly charged for you, it may be because there is some resonance of past life energy that's coming up, something to resolve, something to work through, to clear. But I'm actually feeling more than like past lives, like historical past lives for you, Marilyn, more like something coming up from earlier in this current life, in your past life, in this incarnation, right? Childhood stuff or early adulthood or something along those lines. So if you find yourself in any situations that feel charged or any patterns that are coming up for you that maybe you're working on resolving, but they haven't completely dissolved, or they've come back up, even though you thought, like, oh, I thought I dealt with that, or I thought I stopped that pattern or stopped that way of thinking, or whatever it is. It feels like there's a little bit of some like childhood or past life energy that's been, in that sense, been triggered. So I just recommend taking a look at, like, okay, what's coming up for me right now? And how does this remind me of a situation in my past? Something I felt before, a kind of dynamic I had, a way I operated earlier in my life. And then once you can get the awareness about that, it does then make it easier to decide, how do I want to handle this? Not as my younger self, my inner child, the past version of me. How do I want to handle this as my current wise adult self? That's a concept I like working with a lot. Um, and certainly, there may be some emotions that we need to attend to from the past before you can get to that place of navigating it as your current wise adult self. So, give yourself permission to do that, to feel anything that you need to feel, but then, take a step back and look at how you can move forward in the way that feels most alignment to how you want your life to be right now, currently. Okay, Marilyn, I hope that makes sense and that resonates. Okay. Now, sorry, I was just looking at my list, guys, to make sure I got everybody. Let us go to a card for Bailey. Bailey P. Bailey, your card is Kali, endings and beginnings. The old must be released so that the new can enter. And Bailey, it's interesting to me that Kali is coming in for you. I know that you shared a bit that you're having some transitions happen in your life. I guess I would say, and so I feel like the message on this card is very pertinent for you, Bailey. The old must be released so that the new can enter. So anything that you feel that has left your life or is in the process of leaving, or you can't understand why it's sort of falling apart, there is a purpose to it, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's painful or sad. Sometimes those endings are, but they also are the seeds of the new beginnings, and they have to happen to let the new things that want to come in for you and the new things you've been calling in, I'm hearing, come in. So even on the surface, even though on the surface, when things end or things are, unclear, shaky, there's like a tower sort of moment that happens, it can feel very disconcerting. And we can be like, why is this terrible thing happening right now? Kali is reminding us that, like, it has to happen to clear the way, to pave the way for what you truly want. And so it's really not terrible at all. Certainly can feel terrible, so I do wanna acknowledge that. I have had, Kali move through and move some things out of my life that I was not expecting at points in my past. That was very difficult to move through, but it is so true that that paves the way to open to new pathways and the new things that wanna come in for you. So I definitely think that that is, what is going on here, Bailey. So I hope that that brings some comfort for you, and call on Kali to help the transition through this be as smooth as possible. Like, ask it for it to be gentle as much as it can be, and to guide you in stepping into what is next. That's what that feels like. Okay. So, Bailey, that is the message. I hope it resonates and I hope it makes sense. Okay, and then Sharon P. Sharon, I'm so sorry, but I did not see you on the live last time. Your message did not come through until afterwards. So let me pull a card for you now. Hmm. Sharon, your card is Pele. Beautiful Hawaiian volcano goddess of creation, destruction, transformation, passion, sacred rage. So this card says divine passion. Be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? So this very much feels, Sharon, like being guided by your heart right now. So tuning in, really feeling in to what brings up that feeling of passion, that feeling of drive, that feeling of excitement, and then thinking about, okay, how can I make steps toward that? And they may be baby steps right now. That is totally fine. But allow yourself to take them and allow yourself to feel what you truly want. And there's like a little bit of an energy of coming into acceptance around that. I'm not entirely sure what that's going to mean for you, Sharon, but it's almost like there may be some parts in your life where you feel pulled between some aspect of, I feel like I have to do this, but what would really excite me and give me energy is this other thing. And it feels like Palais is really encouraging you to move toward the thing that would bring you excitement, and not to allow what you feel like you should do to stifle that or stop you from going in that direction. Okay, Sharon, I hope that resonates and I hope that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, Leslie Colley, the Colley card is very beautiful for sure. And she has an intense energy, but also a deeply loving and um, fiercely loving sort of energy. So it's nice to connect with her. Okay, let me check in here, guys. Okay, I think that's everybody I have on my list. I'm not really seeing any other request from cards, but this was, as always, a joy to do, a joy to connect with you guys and to connect to this beautiful goddess energy. And we have Lakshmi here coming through at the end. And let me know if you like this here on YouTube. I'm happy to do these once a month or so, connect with the goddess energy, especially during a full moon. I think that'd be a beautiful time for us to do this. And we'll maybe see you next month if it's something that you guys enjoy. Okay, have a beautiful full moon in Scorpio. So, really good time here to do self reflection, to go inward, to do some shadow work, to take a look at what we don't usually look at, bring it to light, and then help yourself release and transform it so you can move toward what you desire in your life. I did a sacred moon circle yesterday, and that's the stuff that we talked about. So just sharing that with you guys as well. I am off to do my full moon rituals and to relax a little bit. So I hope you have a wonderful Friday night, and I will see you next time.